hearts of men.
They don't think it's possible for a democracy to be an empire, that trying to rule an empire thousands of miles abroad, they're convinced will corrupt American democratic institutions. But they also can't imagine absorbing the peoples of the Philippines in any form into the American Republic.
Is the Republic to remain one homogeneous whole, one united people, or to become a scattered and disjointed aggregate of widely separated and alien races? Steel magnate Andrew Carnegie.
Part of the treaty terms with Spain included $20 million for the Philippines. Carnegie, apparently sincerely, offered to pull out his checkbook and write a check to the United States government for $20 million, and in return for which he wanted McKinley to give the Philippines their independence.
Carnegie and former President Cleveland petitioned the Senate to reject the treaty, still 2 votes shy of ratification. The final vote was scheduled for February 6, 1899. In Manila, U.S. and Filipino soldiers eyed each other suspiciously across a neutral divide. Just 2 days before the final Senate vote, a U.S. Army private on patrol spotted 2 Filipino soldiers crossing the San Juan Bridge to American lines. He shouted for the soldiers to halt.
A Filipino soldier was not understand the word halt. So ignoring that warning continued. He continued to move towards the American lines. The Americans fired from their end, and there was now a reply on the Filipino end.
There's a strong sentiment that flashes through the Senate that we have to support our boys in the Philippines. I mean, it's like there was a patriotism aroused instead of doubts. I mean, the fighting in the Philippines causes a lot of people to have doubts, but in the Senate, it has the impact of turning a number of people who were thinking of opposing the treaty into supporting it.
2 Democrats switched sides, and the Senate narrowly ratified the treaty. The United States officially acquired its first colonies and its first colonial rebellion. 60 U.S. soldiers and 700 Filipinos had been killed.
One of the great sardonic writers of the time, Ambrose Bierce, once wrote that taking an empire is not like smoking a cigarette. And the people who came to be known as anti-imperialists were of that view. And one of them said, Dewey took Manila with the loss of 1 man and all our institutions.
Come home, Dewey, we won't do a thing to you. Grand old hero of the red, white, and blue. 70 million people with nothing else to do. Wait for your coming and they'll make it warm for you.
Rear Admiral Dewey doubled his order of ammunition from Washington to help put a swift end to the Filipino insurrection.
The insane attack of these people upon their liberators. It is not likely that Aguinaldo himself will exhibit much staying power. After 1 or 2 collisions, the insurgent army will break up. The New York Times, February 1899.